The moment the phone rang at 4 a.m., Kelly Osbourne felt something inside her crack. A soundless fracture she would spend the next 2 days pretending she didn't hear. She fumbled through missed calls, spotted her mom's name, and the words, "He's gone, darling," seemed to echo louder than any arena her father ever conquered. By sunrise, tabloids were already crafting tributes to the Prince of Darkness, but Kelly couldn't see past the empty space on her kitchen counter where Ozzy's daily "Good morning, trouble" text usually popped up. She brewed coffee she wouldn't drink, listened to Sidney's soft breathing down the hall, and wondered how you explain to a toddler that the loudest man on earth has fallen silent.
I'm sick of it! I want a fucking break! You haven't been there for all of it, Mom!
When do you want the break? How now?
I know.
What was that, Jess?
Just Kelly, she's really upset because of the workload and everything that's coming in, and she doesn't want to do it. She wants to be a kid. She wants time off.
48 sleepless hours later, grief sharpened into something almost feral. Kelly scrolled through thousands of condolence posts, devil horn emojis, concert selfies, half-finished tattoos, and felt both grateful and suffocated. Finally, she opened Instagram, thumb hovering over the keyboard. No caption felt big enough, no emoji small enough, so she settled on the lyric that had once bound father and daughter in a Grammy-winning duet, "I lost the best friend I ever had." Hit post, tossed the phone onto the couch, and let the first real sob tear free.
You know I love you more than anything in the world. No, you're not married, boy.
Will you marry me?
Section 1. The day the music stopped. July 22nd, 2025. The date etched itself into heavy metal history with ruthless permanence. 17 days earlier, a frake yet defiantly grinning Ozzy had lowered himself onto a black velvet throne at Villa Park, determined to belt out one last set for 40,000 faithful. Most assumed that spectacle would be the exclamation point on a career that had redrawn the boundaries of rock. Few imagined it would become a eulogy in real time. When family spokespersons confirmed that John Michael Ozzy Osbourne had slipped away in his sleep, messages burst across every corner of the internet. Birmingham set up giant screens in Centenary Square. Tokyo vinyl shops draped black banners. A week later, thousands lined the streets as the Osbourne motorcade crawled from Westminster to the Black Sabbath Bridge, bouquets raining onto the hearse like multicolored tears. Fans wept, cheered, raised double-horn salutes, sometimes all at once. But amid the thunderous farewell, Kelly's social feeds remained heartbreakingly still.
I'm a daddy's girl. I love my dad.
But that quiet wouldn't last. Section 2. Kelly breaks her silence. 48 hours after the funeral procession, Kelly finally tapped post. No photos, no filter. Just a single lyric snatched from the father-daughter duet that had stunned the Grammys back in '03. "I feel unhappy. I am so sad. I lost the best friend I ever had." Under the stark black background, she added a small, broken heart emoji. Thousands of replies cascaded in within minutes, some from household names, others from fans whose lives had been stitched together by Ozzy's riffs. Yet Kelly's grief had only started its cruel ascent. 12 days later, she returned to stories with a longer confession. "Grief is a strange thing. It sneaks up on you in waves. I will not be okay for a while, but knowing we're not alone in this pain makes a difference." The post disappeared after 24 hours, but screenshots ricocheted across fan accounts like shards of stained glass. Each share carried the same subtext. The daddy's girl was struggling, and the global metal community was determined to carry her through the fire. Still, sympathy was just one side of the flood. Section 4. A flood of love and speculation. While condolences poured in, the rumor mill churned with equal velocity. Some insisted Ozzy's rapid decline proved his Parkinson's had worsened far faster than anyone admitted. Others whispered about secret hospital stays, even a controversial experimental treatment abandoned at the 11th hour. Kelly, battered by sorrow, watched from cyberspace sidelines as keyboard sleuths dissected her father's final months. Yet, nestled among the theories were raw, intimate confessions. A New Hampshire fan recalling how Crazy Train powered them through freshman year chemo. A 65-year-old grandfather revealing he still tears up at "Mama, I'm Coming Home" because it once lulled his infant daughter to sleep. Kelly liked as many as she could before the screen blurred. In every message, she heard echoes of her own ache, and maybe, just maybe, the roadmap to survive it. Because to grasp Kelly's grief, you have to rewind through decades of chaotic, unconditional love. Section 5. Father and daughter, a bond forged in chaos. Picture 2002, MTV cameras invading the Beverly Hills mansion, capturing Ozzy fumbling for the TV remote while Kelly, punk pink hair blazing, hurled sarcastic grenades at paparazzi loitering beyond the gate. The Osbournes turned family dysfunction into appointment television, but it also broadcast a bond that felt unbreakable. When Kelly's debut single, Papa Don't Preach, hit UK charts, Ozzy was the first to fist pump backstage despite critics sneering at her nepo pop. When Kelly spiraled into prescription pill addiction, Ozzy, fresh out of his own rehab stint, cooked her breakfast every morning in clinical detox, even if she barely nibbled. In 2003, producer Mark Hudson coaxed them into covering Changes, originally a Black Sabbath lament about aging. The resulting duet captured something more potent than chart placement. It was a father offering shelter in the only language he truly spoke, music. That protective beat never stopped through Kelly's stints on fashion panels, her gastric sleeve surgery, and a pandemic that forced Ozzy into lockdown while surgeries piled up. They FaceTimed almost daily. Ozzy cheered her on when she welcomed baby Sidney in 2022, joking the newborn's wail had perfect metal pitch. Kelly, in turn, stood side stage for every comeback concert, anxiety peaking each time her dad's tremor flared. Both knew the clock was ticking, but denial is a melody too sweet to mute. Until the final tour demanded the ultimate key change. Section 6, The Last Tour and The Last Words. Announced as a fundraiser for Parkinson's research, Back to the Beginning was marketed as a triumphant, full-circle moment. Yet, those close to the Osbournes whispered that Ozzy's doctors had begged him to stay home. He refused, insisting the fans deserved a proper goodbye. On July 5th, as stadium lights bathed the stage purple, Ozzy emerged strapped into a skeletal throne, eyes blazing under charcoal eyeliner. Each verse of War Pigs rattled through speaker stacks, his voice sometimes faltering, sometimes transcendent. Mid-set, cameras cut to Kelly wiping tears while rocking baby Sidney in noise-canceling headphones the size of grapefruits. Backstage, she later revealed her father had taken her hand in rest. "This might be the last one, Kel, but remember, the end of the show isn't the end of the music." 17 days later, after a quiet family dinner in Buckinghamshire, Ozzy told Sharon he felt tired and would turn in early. Around dawn, his breathing hushed. The coroner cited complications from advanced Parkinson's disease, but Kelly recounted a softer version. He drifted off listening to Beatles vinyl, peaceful for once. And that left Kelly with a legacy as heavy as any riff. Conclusion: Ozzy Osbourne's roar may have faded from earthly stages, but its echo lingers in every cracked vinyl hiss, every basement cover band, every fan who blasts Paranoid to drown out their own demons. Kelly Osbourne, once the pink-haired rubble of reality TV fame, now carries that echo like a torch, one she refuses to let sputter. The question is, how will you keep it alive? Will you dust off an old record, teach a kid their first power chord, or maybe just whisper "I love you" before it's too late? Drop your answer below, because legacies are built one shared memory at a time, and this story, Ozzy's story, isn't done until the last fan stops singing.